Nashville talks about her career and tonight's induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame. At 8:40, we will solve the mystery of lawyers' fees and see how attorneys... Here's Mark.
Thank you, Thalia. Next, we're going to go down to Nashville to spend some time with Dolly Parton, Hall of Famer. Hey, Dolly.
Hey, Mark. I'm down here at the Grand Ole Opry House, and I'm going to be talking to you next.
This portion of This Morning sponsored by Mitsubishi Motors, the all-new 2000 Eclipse.
It is 16 after the hour. Tonight's the big night in Nashville and a big night for Dolly Parton. At the Country Music Association Awards, Dolly will be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, a tribute to a great career.
Just because I'm blonde, don't think I'm dumb, 'cause this dumb blonde ain't nobody's fool.
Dolly Parton began her professional singing career in her early teens, performing throughout her home state of Tennessee on television and radio stations. By the time she turned 21, she and Porter Wagner were one of country's most popular duos.
That looks good. I believe that's supposed to be mine.
And soon she starred on her very own TV show.
Love is like a butterfly, as soft and gentle as a sigh.
Throughout the 70s, Dolly's hair got higher and her solo career skyrocketed. And she became known as much for her body as her body of work.
That's it. And I will always love you.
Dolly's musical success earned her 4 Grammy Awards and 8 Country Music Association Awards, including Entertainer of the Year.
I do appreciate that. I had this dress made in case I won, and about 5 minutes ago, I was hoping I wouldn't win because I busted the front out of it, and that's why.
That's all right.
So is it okay? My daddy said that's what I got for putting 50 pounds of mud in a 5-pound bag.
Though she calls herself a symbol of bad taste, Dolly's judgment in film roles proved impeccable. She's held her own against some of Hollywood's best.
Oh, Malin, I really wish I had some words of wisdom, but I don't. So why don't we just focus on the joy of the situation?
In 1986, she donned yet another hat, a hard hat, and built her own theme park, Dollywood, which boasts over 2 million visitors a year. And now live from the stage at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, here's Dolly. Hello, Dolly.
Well, hello, Mark. You got some big hair there on me, ain't you?
I wish I had the big hair, Dolly. What can I tell you? First of all, congratulations. Big night for you tonight. When you first heard your name in the same sentence with the Country Music Hall of Fame, what did you think?
Well, I just screamed. I was thrilled and honored. I happened to have some of my family out visiting with me when I got the call out in L.A. that I was going in the Hall of Fame, and I started screaming, and they all come running in the back to see what was wrong. I said, "You're not going to believe it. I'm going in the Hall of Fame." So it was nice that I had family there to enjoy that moment with me, but I feel very humbled and very honored that I'm going to be there with some of the great, great people. I don't know if I deserve it, but I'm just like Minnie Pearl, I'm so proud to be there.
Well, trust me on this one thing, you deserve it. You know, people have been saying for years, I wish I could sing like Dolly. I wish I had a career like Dolly. When you first started out, who were your heroes? Who were your heroines? Who were the people you wanted to emulate?
Well, actually, most of my people were singers, and a lot of my first heroes were aunts of mine and uncles and people that used to sing. But some of the first big people that I remember was Kitty Wells, Rose Maddox, and of course I always loved, even I was listening to Porter Wagner, the man that gave me my first big break long before I ever left Sevierville. So I had a lot of favorites, but I think as far as the women, Kitty was probably a great inspiration to me.
Let's talk about some of those early days. Is it true when you first got to Nashville, they kind of didn't know what to do with you and your voice?
Well, I have a very unusual voice. It's the kind of voice you either just hate it or you like it. And so enough people liked it to where I guess I'm going in the Hall of Fame, but I just had my voice is very small, and it's true they didn't know what to do with me when I first got to Nashville. And I did record some little rockabilly rock songs. They thought that my voice was too small, too high-pitched, and too childlike to sing serious country music, but it still is high and still childlike, and I'm still singing it and did okay, I guess.
I think you did. I love your voice. Going to put you on the spot a little bit, Dolly. All the songs you've recorded over the years, could you give me just a little bit of one of your favorites?
Well, my favorite song I ever wrote was "In My Coat of Many Colors That My Mama Made for Me. Made only from rags, but I wore it so proudly. And although we had no money, I was rich as I could be. In my coat of many colors that Mama made for me. 'Cause she made it just for me."
Dolly, hurting my feelings this morning, singing so sweet early in the morning. There's a song that a lot of people have, in the latter part of what's been a wonderful career, and it's still going on, "I Will Always Love You," a song that Whitney Houston took to huge heights. How many, you wrote it, you sang it first, how many times was that song #1?
Well, I have had a #1 song with it 3 different times. Once in the early 70s when I wrote it, and then again when I did Best Little Whorehouse with Burt Reynolds, and then again with Vince Gill, and as a duet. And then Whitney, of course, did the one that made me the most big money, and I was very proud of her version of it. So it's a song that I think helped put me in the Hall of Fame.
Can we talk about your acting career as well? 9 to 5 is where you first started. What I wanted to know, did you have any training, any acting training before you got on the screen, because you acted like you knew what you were doing?
I did not know what I was doing. When I did 9 to 5, I'd never even seen a movie made. I've never had an acting lesson in my life, so I sort of kind of went along with that Buck Owens song that Johnny Russell wrote, "All you got to do is act naturally." I just thought, well, I'll just kind of listen to what people are saying, and I'll just try to respond in the same way I would if I was just talking to them. And that's still the way I try to do it today, but I don't think that I'm a great actress, but I enjoy getting to play in it.
Yeah. Dolly, we got about 30 seconds left. You know, Hall of Famers, one of the things about a Hall of Famer, young people come up and say to the Hall of Famer, what advice can you give me? What advice would you give people who are just starting out?
Well, I'd just say you got to believe in your dreams. If you really believe that you're truly talented and you're willing to sacrifice all the things you have to, just stick with it, and it will eventually happen if you have the guts and the backbone and the talent to do it.
Dolly Parton, well-deserved honor tonight. See you in the Country Music Hall of Fame, and all the best to you, Dolly.
Well, thank you. I'm glad it was you that interviewed me. You know how much I love you.
Right back at you, Dolly. Thank you so much. You can catch the Country Music Awards live here on CBS tonight at 8 Eastern, 7 Central Time. Show will be seen on the West Coast in a delayed broadcast at 8 p.m.